What's up, guys? Nick from the Average Biker Garage, back here with another episode of the Average Biker Podcast. On today's episode, we have Harry Fash, aka RichPMiflin, on to talk about his chopper show and just bikes in general. Before we get to that, I got to give a shout out to the boys at Corn Fed Customs in Indianapolis, going full time with it. I am so stoked for these guys. Glad I had them on earlier this year. Hope to have them on again and talk about the transformation or the evolution going from part-time to full-time with their shop. Really happy for them. Go hit them up on Instagram. Go check out their shop page there, and hit them up for anything you need if you're in the Indianapolis area or wherever. They ship worldwide. So today's episode, back to our guest, Harry Fash, aka RichPMiflin. He is the owner of Slice and Dice Choppers in Philly, and he is hosting a chopper show called Hardtail Halloween. This is the second coming of this show, and we talk about that. His show is October 21st in Willow Grove, PA, just outside of Philly. So if you're in the area, be sure to go and check out the show. Really cool guy. Just happened to catch one of his posts on the Garage Built Facebook page. If you're not a member of that page, go check it out. I'm creeping in there. That's where I found most of my guests, honestly. Oh, but he's doing a lot of cool shit, and he's got a YouTube page. I believe it's Slice and Dice Choppers too. But he does a lot of really cool shit with like 16 millimeter film, and his videos look super artsy and way better than anything I could ever do or even think about doing. So he took time out of his vacation in Colorado to hop on here and bullshit with me for about an hour, and I appreciate it. Again, super cool guy. I'll have all of his links, Instagram links, YouTube links, all that down in the show notes. So be sure to check that out. Go give him a follow. And without further ado, here is my interview with Harry, aka RichPMiflin. All right, man. I don't know if you're familiar with my podcast or not. It's pretty small. Being a PA guy, you probably know Josh, Still City Blacksmithing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just I actually met up with him out at Glory Days, so rode with him. Yeah, I've had him on here and stuff. I'm still very small, but I'm trying to grow it.
Yeah, man, Josh is doing some sweet Twisted Steel type builds.
Dude, he's such a sweetheart of a guy. Like, yeah, that bike he built for the guy over in Qatar is crazy.
I know. I've never met him in person yet, but I admire him from the internet for sure.
Well, see, yeah, if you were at Glory Days, shit, I wish I would have known you then. You could have met up and, yeah, introduced yourself to him. You guys, shit, probably only live maybe 45 minutes away.
Yeah, maybe. I had a booth at Glory Days and everything.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you out?
I was
out in the
indoors.
field there? Oh, you were indoors?
Next to one of the lady vintage sellers.
Up front there?
Yeah, up front. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I sat right there at those tables and ate my nachos.
I probably watched you eat them.
I hope not. Shit. All right, man. Well, go ahead and introduce yourself. Name, age, location.
Yeah, right on. My name is Harry. Some people know me on the internet as RichPMiflin. I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm 27 years old, and I have a few different job titles. I fly airplanes. I am a certified crematorium operator, and inside of that crematorium is where I have my chopper shop. It's called Slice and Dice, and we build choppers.
So crematorium.
Yes,
So you cremate people and build bikes next to them?
that's pretty much it. It's a great way to describe it.
Holy shit, that's awesome. I mean, I
Mhm.
guess morbid. I don't know.
It's pretty metal,
Unique.
I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So you do run chopper shop then?
Yep, chopper shop is called Slice and Dice. Had the shop for about going on 3 years now.
Oh wow.
hmm
So it's must be working out for you then, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
You,
cool. It's not like a service shop or anything like that. It's just fully custom, like choppers, period. Built for friends, stuff like that. Myself.
sweet. Well, backing up a bit, how'd you get into riding?
Well, my dad has been into motorcycles basically his whole entire life, and therefore my whole entire life as well. Custom motorcycles, though, back in 1989, my dad wrecked his Softail Custom, and he was fortunate enough to have it rebuilt by Arlen Ness in '91. And after that rebuild came through, it basically just like thrusted me once I was born in '95 into this world of just custom motorcycles. And I grew up wearing my dad's old Harley shirts. Grew up around the whole motorcycle scene. There's a place in Glenside that we used to hang out all the time at. Um, but yeah, basically, it's just been a part of my life for the entirety of my existence so far.
Nice.
hmm
See, I got a closet full of my dad's old Harley shirts too. I would use them as work shirts now.
Dude, I'm so lucky I can just pillage my dad's closet for old Harley shirts instead of like paying $100 at a vintage shop for one.
Right. The
hmm
good thing is too, the older he gets, the fatter he gets, and same with me. So he keeps going up in size and he can't fit in me anymore. I get his hand me down. So
Fair enough, it works out.
right. So what was your first street bike that you got?
A Sportster, like any good young chopper rider wants to ride as a Sportster. So started out with a '97 Sportster, rode it around for a little bit. I come from a BMX background, so I've always been on two wheels, and I just felt super comfortable in the Sportster right away. And it did not take me long at all to want to just cut that thing right in half.
And did you?
I sure did. I sure did. It was actually really funny. So I'm out here in Colorado right now. Most of my family is from Cheyenne, Wyoming. And so every year around this time, I come and hang out with them because they all get together. They're big elk hunters. And I don't hunt, but I love to go hang out with them and just trek around the woods and stuff. But um, one of my good family friends out here, his name's David. He's in his 40s, and he had a chopper shop in Cheyenne. And I remember vividly, this was maybe about 5 years ago, was when I first built my first Sportster chopper. We were riding around in the mountains in a side by side, and I was telling him I really wanted to chop it, but like I don't know if I was confident enough in my welding skills. Like, could I put it back together if I did take it apart? And he just like straight up told me, he's just like, dude, like, fuck it, just fucking do it. And I was like, you know what? That's fantastic advice. So I got home and I chopped it in half.
Did you use a hardtail kit from somebody?
Yeah, so bought a hardtail kit from TC Bros, and it didn't work out exactly how I wanted it to, but for my first chopper build, it worked out, as ideally as you could imagine.
My goddamn cat's down here fucking
I
up my
love cats.
cables. She just came in here now. I don't know what she's doing. So, would you recommend the TC Bros hardtail? Because Sporty's hopefully my next venture.
Nice. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I've already found myself in some hot water with TC Bros before about using their horseshoe oil tank. So my first chopper build, I decided to make a YouTube channel and like film and document the whole process. And it ended up being pretty cool. Like a bunch of people were watching the videos, super awesome to see. But it came time to fit the oil bag to my frame, and I went with the TC Bros horseshoe oil bag because at the time they had just released it. And to this day, I'm still convinced that I'm the first person to ever run that oil bag, including people at their facility, because I just ran into a bunch of problems with it, and it ended up having to be like a pretty big custom application. And then after the fact, I made that video. It came out, and then they changed their description of how it's supposed to mount on their website. So I just thought that was kind of funny. But I would recommend the TC Bros hardtail. I would also just recommend to do your research as well. I would absolutely recommend the Throttle Addiction hardtail deluxe kit because it comes with the hardtail, the bolt-on oil bag, which is super convenient, sissy bar, and then the seat of your choice.
So yeah, I've been looking Throttle Addiction, TC Bros, Lowbrow, all the I can't remember which one I decided because I want a bigger rear tire. Like
Okay.
I don't want to go stupid big, but like a 180.
Yeah.
So
right.
I can't remember which company offers that kit.
I think it's Lowbrow. I think Lowbrow is the one that offers the larger rear end because I think their hardtail comes with a 3-inch stretch.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so how many bikes have you built then? Well, just for yourself. Just for yourself at first.
Oh, just for myself, I have built a total of 4 choppers. So started out with an Evo Sportster, then I built an Ironhead, and then a cone shovel, and then another cone shovel.
What your Ironhead?
83 Ironhead. Would not recommend it. Stay as far away from Ironheads as humanly possible.
See, I've heard that, and I've also heard that people that love them, like, oh, I love my Ironhead, never get rid of it, best motor, blah blah blah. So, what sucked about the Ironhead? Why wouldn't you recommend it?
Well, so I will say that the Ironhead has been in my family since '83, since when it was bought, and the first time that I even touched it, it had been sitting mothballed in the back of my dad's garage for like the past 28 years or something like that. And we got it to run as like a stock configured Ironhead. And so I was like, all right, cool, it runs. And so then I tore it apart, chopped the frame, put it back together, wired it up. It started up. And mind you, I still hadn't ridden the bike at all at this point in time, and it hadn't been ridden for the past X amount of years. And my first ride lasted approximately 35 seconds down the sidewalk before she just died on me. And I thought, no harm, no foul. I'll just charge the battery, get it rolling back up again. Charged the battery, had maybe like a 15-minute ride on the bike. Same thing, kaput. I thought maybe it was the generator. The Ironheads from that year have a 65B generator on them. So I took the generator apart, took the armature out of the generator, inspected everything, made sure the armature spun outside of the casing, put everything back together, seemed to be fine. Same thing, couldn't last longer than 20 minutes on the bike. And even with the new cycle electric generator that just has the generator line going straight from the generator right to the hot side of the battery, you'd think that it like would hold a charge. It doesn't. Also, this is probably a fault of my own, but I'm running 8-over forks on the Ironhead, and the front valve just like really does not like the lack of oil from the pitch of the bike. But I've seen dudes running way more extreme front ends on their Ironheads, and it works out. So I don't know, just doesn't like me that much.
You try a new battery?
Yeah, tried a new battery. It's still in my garage. I have kind of put on the back burner since I've been building more cone shovels and getting into generator motors now. So we'll try to figure it out this winter probably.
Nice. How many bikes have you built for customers? Do you have like customers, or you just build like for friends and shit like that?
Yeah, I wouldn't really call them customers. Just buddies like hanging out at the shop. Some friend, like wants to build a chopper, put it back together in the shop. That's the type of stuff.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
It'll be 8 bikes It's 7 3/4 right now. I have the eighth one currently on the lift, about to take it off.
7 3/4.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. And you're getting into more cone shovels, you said.
Yeah, the past three builds have been cone shovels, and we got a pan head we're working on now, and I'm looking to buy another generator motor this winter time. So yeah, down at the shop right now, it's me and my buddy Kyle who are really doing like most of the heavy lifting around there. Got some other friends on our pretty close knit crew that help around the shop and stuff, but yeah, me and Kyle are the ones who are doing most of the stuff down there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Any goals in turning that into a full-time thing with actual customers?
You know what? That answer is a big I don't know right now because I'm sort of in between careers. As I mentioned before, I'm a pilot and I'm looking to get hired for another pilot gig. And that's obviously my first priority aside from motorcycles. So being an aviator is pretty time consuming, but it's also very lucrative at the same time. And as we all know, it costs money to build choppers. And I kind of like the freedom of building bikes how I see them and then kind of just letting them sail in the wind after that, as opposed to having maybe like a customer looking over your shoulder for your whole build or something.
Right. Oh, you fly planes?
Yes, I do.
My brother's a helicopter pilot.
Oh, right on. For the military?
Yeah.
Nice.
He was in the military. He's almost retired now. He's working on. He was in the National Guard. He flew Blackhawks, and
Okay.
now he flies medevac out of Indianapolis.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's cool you mentioned that. My endeavors right now, I'm trying to get hired by an Air National Guard flying squadron. I'd love to fly fighters. That's been my main endeavor for the past few years. Um, I have a lot of friends who are military pilots. We all went through ROTC in college together. So, yep, military aviation is for sure the forefront of what I'm trying to do with my professional career, at least. But I'm really having a lot of fun with the choppers, and it's super cool to see like some success on the internet with my Instagram page and YouTube and stuff. So maybe more choppers for business in the future for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. 44,000 followers. That's insane.
It's pretty cool, man. I love filming my little 16 millimeter videos and make my art, and it's pretty cool that people are digging it.
Yeah. How many? You said you got a YouTube channel too.
Yes,
How many subs you got there?
I think the last time I checked, I have just over 4,000 subscribers on YouTube.
God damn. Doing it big. I like it.
I'm having fun, man. That's the main part about
Yeah. That's the main thing.
it. Mm-hmm.
So, what is your favorite style of bike to build?
Without a doubt, 60s, 70s style chopper. Just 30-degree rake on the neck, maybe some 6 over fork tubes, 18 rear, 21 front, no front brakes, foot clutch, jockey shift. Keep it classic.
How do you? I've never ridden a foot clutch bike. I'd like to build one. What's the learning curve like on that?
Um, it's a lot different than a hand clutch bike. The main difference is just finding your balance when you come to a stoplight. And like once you get over that, if you can drive a car that has a manual transmission, the same type of idea where like you don't necessarily have a rest for your foot to depress the clutch pedal. Same concept applies there. So just figuring out how to float your foot to engage and disengage the clutch.
Yeah, I'm sure taking off from a stop's probably the hardest part. Once you get going, shouldn't be too bad, right?
Yeah, once you get going, it's pretty smooth. And yeah, just coming to a stop. If you can't find a neutral, having to keep it in first gear and then just balance the bike while you're also not trying to stall out. If you're like you're on a slight bit of an incline and the bike wants to roll back on you, it can get a little tricky, but it's super easy to figure out. I mean, enough people are doing it, so
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely looks interesting. I'm just nervous, stalling shit out of the stoplight. That shit's embarrassing.
yeah, for sure. especially
So
a wicked cool looking chopper.
yeah, yeah. You don't look so cool after that. You know?
Hmm.
So what's your next build gonna be?
I was actually just thinking about that earlier today. The build that I'm finishing on the lift right now, it's going to be like our show bike that we parade around for the next year, just kind of like showcasing the quality of builds we're capable of putting out from my shop. And the next build that I want to do is going to be pretty much just on par with what I like to do. Hardtail frame, 30-degree neck, 6/over fork tubes, tall T-bars, 18 rear, 21 front, that type of deal. And I'm an artist, and I love to make hand paintings, specifically like old pinups from World War II bombers. And I'm thinking a pinup hand painted on the side of the fuel tank would be a pretty nice touch for this next build.
Nice.
Hmm.
Where are you planning on showing the bike at? Like you just said you were at Glory Days.
Yep.
Are you gonna submit it to that?
Yeah. So the bike was invited to Glory Days, which is pretty awesome. But the next show is actually going to be my chopper show. It's called Hardtail Halloween, and it's happening a week from tomorrow in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you about all that.
Hmm.
Um, Willow Grove. Where is that at exactly?
Willow Grove is about 35 minutes northwest of central Philadelphia. So it's just on the outskirts of town, and it's at a VFW, local VFW 308. We had a fantastic time last year, great turnout. Super, super stoked to see all the choppers, like random choppers, come out of the woodworks that I just never knew existed around the area. It's pretty much just me and my tight knit group of friends who seem to be doing it like in Philadelphia, but around like the eastern Pennsylvania area. I hope to see a lot more this year too.
Yeah. Oh, so this is the
Yep, second annual.
show.
Hmm.
So the first one must have been a pretty good success then.
The first one was awesome. So, like I said, we had it at the local VFW. And when I first approached them about having the show, they originally thought maybe like 15 or 20 people would show up. And I don't know the exact number, but I can tell you that they almost drank the bar dry. So,
Oh shit.
yeah.
That's great. So
Yep.
you
So
don't know the exact.
no, I don't
know
know the number, but they're super ecstatic to have us back this year. And I was actually just on a conference call with the bar earlier about how much beer they think they should buy.
They're gonna stock up this year.
They're going to stock up. Yep.
Nice. So how many bikes do you expect this year? You expect a bigger turnout this year then?
Oh yeah, absolutely bigger turnout this year. It's a riding event, so it's not like a traditional show, but I'm gonna have awards there and stuff like that. Basically, just ride what you got. Section for choppers, section for not choppers. Everybody's welcome though.
Nice.
Hmm.
Uh, Man, isn't it getting cold over there yet?
It doesn't really start to get cold until like the middle of November, thank goodness. Early October mornings will be like you'll wake up, it's like 50 degrees, you'll be like, fuck, it's cold. Then towards the end of the day, it's like rolling towards the 70s, so it's usually pretty decent weather.
Nice. Yeah, that shouldn't be too
Hmm.
bad then.
Yeah.
As I know the weather at Glory Days this year kind of sucked.
It did, but you know what? Super solid turnout despite.
Yeah, this is my first year going there. Had never heard of it before, and just saw an ad on Facebook and was like, okay. I went to Mama Tried this year,
Okay.
and that was really cool.
Nice.
I'm hoping to go back next year here in February, I think it is.
That's what's up.
Yep. You gonna submit your bike to anything like that? That's a pretty big show.
Yeah, certainly plan on it. The idea is just to try and hit every show on the circuit that we can. Um, Mostly just for us to have fun with. I mean, it's a great time to get out and travel and just, you know, kick some butt with your friends on the road.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what made you decide to start promoting your own show?
Well, it was something that I've always wanted to do because growing up, like I never really knew about any chopper specific shows here in Philadelphia. And we're good buddies with the dudes in the Easy Co. I don't know if you know who they are or not, but they got a chopper operation going up in the northeastern part of Worcester. And we happened upon their chopper show a few years ago. And then our other buddies up there, 6'9 Speed Co., La Espada Chopper Show, really just inspired me to kind of explore that avenue on my own here in Philadelphia. And as far as I know, my chopper show is still like the only chopper centric show that happens in the Philadelphia area. So that's really what I wanted to do. My main goal was just to bring the choppers together in this area because I see it happening so many other places and it seems so cool. And it was really cool last year. So hope we can keep it going.
Yeah, it's those guys are far enough away where they wouldn't really consider it, competition, competing shows.
Oh, yeah. And they're super, super chill anyways. And they're actually like who really inspired me to start chopping away anyways. One of my buddies, also in the military, my best friend Jesse, who I started Slice and Dice with, he was stationed up at Hanscom Air Force Base in Massachusetts there for 3.5 years after we graduated college. And I would go visit him periodically. And it wasn't until I happened upon one of the Easy Co's YouTube videos while I was out there. And I was just like, oh, shit, like they're 15 minutes away from us. Let's go see if we can check out their shop. So I DM'd John on Instagram, and he responded. He's like, yeah, come on through. And this is before I'd started like Instagram or YouTube or anything like that. And they were just incredibly welcoming. We had great conversation when we first went in there. Couldn't say enough great things about the dudes from the Easy Co. So shout out to them if they're listening. They rock.
Yeah, I tell you, I've since I started going to shows and meeting people, you'd think by looking at the people at the shows that they'd be assholes. I'm sure that there's some of them are,
Yeah.
But like I met Jacob Kennard at Mama Tried, and totally fangirled out my girlfriend and asked me if I needed a cigarette after talking to him. But he was just like the nicest, chill, down to earth guy. I was like, yeah, let's go over my bike and talk about it and whatnot. And then,
yeah, man,
like Josh from Steel City, like I said, I talked to him and met up with him and rode with him and shit, went out to eat and just hung out with him all day there at Glory Days. And it's like, a lot of really cool people in the scene. And you wouldn't expect it, I guess.
100%. And Jacob Kennard's the homie too. His cone shovel from his Invited Builders series 2 years ago is one of my favorite builds of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was really cool. Really cool guy. I apologized to him on Instagram. I was like, man, I'm sorry for acting like such a fangirl when I met you. And he's like, what? And I sent him a picture. I had a picture taken with him. And he's like, oh, shit. He's like, I remember you now. And I was like, yeah, sorry. My bad, man.
Yeah, he's
but
cool.
He's really cool.
He'd be great to have on the podcast, too, because he's working over there at West Coast Choppers.
Dude, I'd love to have him on the podcast, but like I said, I'm really small right now. I'm surprised you wanted to come on, being a big time with 44,000 followers and shit.
Well, dude, I mean,
I appreciate it though.
I'm out here on vacation, man, so I'm just hanging out. So you caught me at the perfect time.
And I apologize for interrupting your vacation too. Like you said, you were out there on vacation. I'm like, shit, man, I don't want to interrupt your vacation.
Dude, no, not at all. I'm absolutely chilling out here.
What the hell are you doing out there? Just cruising through the mountains and whatnot?
Yeah, yesterday we drove through Rocky Mountain National Park. It was absolutely wicked. And another cool thing I'm doing is before I came out here, I posted a little Instagram story being like, hey, anybody out in the Cheyenne, Denver area with cool choppers, like want to meet up, film a video? Because like I was saying earlier, I do like the retro style videos and I like photography as well. And some cool dudes out here hit me up, met up with them, filmed some videos. The most recent video on my Instagram page is with a dude that I just randomly stumbled across on Instagram. His name's Joe Jugnuts on Instagram. He's got a wicked Evo chopper, some killer paint on there, and we had a blast filming this little 16mm film video out by the mountains the other day, and it's just so cool. The internet just connects you with all these people who totally like the same stuff.
It is crazy. Like you said, you're 27. You're a baby. You probably don't remember a time before the internet.
Yeah, back in the early '90s, I'd say was the first introduction I had, and then it's just been full speed ahead with the internet for me for my entire life.
Yeah, see, I remember before the internet.
Mm.
That's I'm just, probably a generation older than you.
Mm.
But so did you take a bike out there with you?
Not this time. No, I just flew, but my crew and I were out here over the summer. We did a Born Free trip from Philly all the way to Born Free and back.
Born from California,
Yep, Born Free, California.
and you rode that whole way?
No, hell no. We
I was
like
gonna say,
it would have nearly been impossible. First of all, we can't take off work for like a month straight, but the only fun part about that ride would happen like after you get through the Midwest.
yeah, yeah, we're a flyover country for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. Just like just a few solid days of cornfield riding just feels like vivarium.
Yeah, I went to Sturgis in 2004,
Mhm.
and Iowa was fucking brutal.
Mm.
Just corn, 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 corn.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't blame you for trailering.
Yeah, the trip ended up being a complete disaster as well because coming back from Born Free through Odessa, Missouri at around 11 p.m., we were trailering our bikes in a U-Haul trailer, and I was towing it with my Chevy Colorado, and we just absolutely annihilated a deer going 70 miles an hour on ice. Yeah, completely totaled my truck. It died in the road. Um, Fucking the scariest part was state trooper got there. We had to push the truck off the side of the road as semis are going by. Whoosh, and I just thought for sure we were just going to get absolutely whooped by a semi, but it worked out. My truck is buried in Odessa, Missouri. Mega shout out to Scott Topher on Instagram. He used to shoot for Dice Magazine and stuff. Made another Instagram story, another crazy internet connection story. And he drove all the way from Kansas City, Missouri to come pick us up in Odessa, hooked our trailer up to his van, drove us 2 hours to the only other available U-Haul joint, which was 2 hours away in Kansas, the state of Kansas. And we transferred all the contents from the trailer into a U-Haul box truck, and then we mowed it on back to Philadelphia.
That sounds like a clusterfuck.
Yeah, big time.
At least you got a cool story out of it.
I guess you could say so. I ended up buying my dream truck afterwards, so it kind of worked out anyways, circuitously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how was Born Free? Was that a good show?
Yeah, the first day was a little rough for us. We were just flustered from travel and all that stuff. But day two, we got to relax a little bit and just kind of enjoy and take everything in like much slower than the day before. And it was just a few hours of serenity and choppers. It was great.
Yeah. That's a really big show. How many bikes were out there?
Thousands at least. I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah.
mm-hmm.
Hmm. So yeah, it's
Recommend if you can for sure go experience it.
no, yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to go there. And then they got Texas now too.
Yeah, Born Free Texas, I think, is actually happening on the same weekend as my chopper show. So
Oh
if
well,
you're
fuck them then.
out,
Yeah, fuck them then for booking your weekend.
I know, right?
So speaking of that, well, what are some struggles with promoting shows?
I'm actually kind of fortunate to really not experience much of that. I'm very fortunate to have the following that I do on Instagram, and that kind of just affords you the certain opportunity to reach more people than somebody with less followers would just by circumstance of the numbers. Um, the only tricky part I would say is just figuring out logistics for me. As I mentioned earlier, the bar is kind of hounding on me to figure out exactly how many people are going to be there so they can plan accordingly. I don't really have a number for that I can give them. It's all just kind of hearsay. So if there are any struggles for me, the planning stuff I pretty much have under control, but just the guesstimating is what I can't really come to.
Does that get super stressful?
It was really stressful for me last year being the first one, but just seeing how smooth the show ran, how respectful everybody was that attended. I'm certainly much more calm about how it's going to go this year.
First year, probably always, you don't quite know what to expect.
Right, exactly. There's a saying in the military, no plan survives first contact, and that's absolutely true for anything else that you're trying to plan.
So you are in the military then?
Was.
You were?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What, National Guard, Army?
Army Reserves.
Army Reserves?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And so you're trying to get back in then to fly? To fly?
Or to fly fighters.
You don't mind me asking, what's the holdup with that? Is it on their end?
Competitive process. So there's a series of tests that you have to take before you can even consider to applying to be an aviator in the military. You have to be an officer, which means you have to have a bachelor's degree, which I do. Those bases are covered for me. I'm in the application interview phase right now, which is basically just competing with hundreds of other applicants who are also shotgunning their applications to different units. And in the lucky chance that you get an interview out of the hundreds of so applicants, you're interviewing up against 8 to 12 other incredibly qualified candidates just like yourself. And it's just a lot of luck and timing. So those positions are highly coveted, extremely competitive, and it's just a matter of finding your slot at the right time.
Well, hell yeah, I hope it's the right time for you, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
So what is your favorite thing about promoting shows?
Making videos, for sure. My Instagram is just full of like Instagram reels. I try to be as creative as I can with them. I really love, like, Easy Rider is one of my favorite movies of all time, naturally. And so ever since I've seen that movie when I was younger, I've just been completely fascinated by the look of 16 millimeter film. And so that's basically just how I try to film all of my content now, is with that old vintage style look, which I really think attracts a lot of people who are into the chopper thing, because they probably also love Easy Rider and just the vibe of the 60s and 70s. So anything I can do to connect with that, I feel like draws a lot of people in turn makes them watch my content. And then by way of that, they see my advertisements for the show, and then hopefully they come.
Any plans to build a Captain America bike?
No, but Billy Bike is one of my favorite builds of all time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you film with?
Okay, so I don't know the name of the camera actually, but I pretty much film all my footage digitally right now. I was just having this conversation with somebody else. That's funny. So you can buy like a random 16 millimeter film camera, and what I found is I edit in Premiere Pro, so you can almost use this effect as like a green blue screen effect. If you film a single color background, preferably green, with the 16 millimeter film, and then you can have that digitized, and you can insert digital footage underneath the digitized 16 millimeter LUT, and it basically just kind of emulates that film grain for you. So it's been really easy for me because I can film with just a regular DSLR, like a Nikon D5100, or even my iPhone in some instances, insert into Premiere Pro, insert that footage underneath the 16 millimeter layout, and then basically it just looks like that.
That sounds super technical.
It's been interesting trying to figure it out, but it's pretty cool though.
I wasn't sure if like your editing software would have had like a filter or something that made it look like 16 millimeter film or not.
To me, I think that a lot of the like apps that have filters, or like the editing software that has filters, looks too obvious. And I really care about like originality and making stuff look authentic. So it's just kind of been a really fun exploration for me to figure out the best way to do that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
You like editing videos?
Yeah, I love it. I love filming. I love editing. I write and record all my own music, so there's no copyright strikes against me. So I just have a blast with the whole process.
I fucking hate editing videos. Which I got a YouTube channel too, and I film shit and then I sit on it. Like I've got video from Glory Days. I got video from a show a month before Glory Days, and I'm still like, I gotta edit this, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I feel that.
What do you do make it not suck so bad? I need some advice.
Typically, when I edit, it's usually at the end of my day. So probably crack a beer, sit down at my desk. The lights are a little bit lower. Turn on my fake fireplace and just kind of vibe with it.
Turn on the fireplace, have a glass of wine, sit there and get real with it.
Not wine. I do drink White Claws though.
Why, clause of the law, man.
No laws when you're drinking the claws.
That's good shit. So, do you have any advice for newbie builders?
Yeah, dude, 100%. The best advice that I could possibly give anyone considering even building a chopper is the same advice that I got, which would just be, if you have any reservations about it, just say fuck it, just do it. Literally just do anything you want to do. If you have an idea about something you think is cool, just do it. If something's holding you back, if somebody says, oh, you can't do that, oh, it's too much for you to handle, just say, well, I'm going to just give it a shot at least.
Right. That was one of the biggest things that I realized when I started building my first bike. It was like, I didn't know how to, I'm a welder by trade.
Okay.
So I knew how to weld and, bend steel and shit like that. But I'm not mechanically inclined. Like, motor shit, I'm not my forte. Mm-hmm. But you just kind of figure it out as you go, and it's really it's like a big puzzle. You pull shit off and then figure out how it goes back together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say as well, you mentioned we both have YouTube channels. YouTube has been an unbelievable resource for me for literally everything. I wouldn't have my college degree if it wasn't for YouTube.
Right. What are some channels that you watch on there that'll help you out?
Number one, the Easy Co. Number two, I feel like this goes without saying, Pacific Mike. If you have any questions about old motors, Pacific Mike probably has an answer for you. And I like Lane Split Boulevard a lot. I watched a lot of his Sportster videos for when I first chopped my bike. And let's see if I can think of another one off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, Grease's Garage. He's Grease's Garage. He's just starting out with the YouTube game, but he's got his filming on point and his editing as well. And he's got some really, really helpful content out there for maybe people who aren't too familiar with motorcycles yet.
His videos look great.
Yeah,
that's being kind of in the Northeast and La Spada and all those. You probably know the Low Life guys then too, don't you?
Yeah, Grease is part of Low Life.
Yeah. I listen to their podcast all the time. They just had some drama, I guess. Someone got them kicked off Spotify. I don't even know how that shit happens.
I didn't hear too much about that.
Oh, Loctite posted something on Instagram about it. He was pissed. But
damn.
Yeah. No, it's Grease and Lane Split. I love Lane Split. Who'd you say? Pacific Mike? I haven't heard of him.
Dude, oh my gosh. You got to put Pacific Mike in your YouTube docket to watch right now, man. Pacific Mike is great. Sometimes I'll even fall asleep to his videos because his voice is just
so soothing, yeah.
Yeah, he's like maybe in his 70s. It's just a wealth of knowledge. He's got some knuckleheads, some shovelheads. Just some great videos. We met him at Born Free, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, I'm typing him into YouTube right now.
I don't think he's super, super popular, but he's got some subscribers for sure, and I watch every single one of his videos, and so do all my friends.
All right. You talked me into Southern. Yeah. He looks like a cool guy.
Yeah, super cool.
So, have you ever fucked around with a knucklehead, or you said you're working on a panhead now?
Yeah, so we got a hold of our first generator motors, just some STD cases, panhead left side case, I think. But yeah, this is our first exploration into a generator motor, and I don't know if I want to get into a knucklehead at all, period. They've just never been my favorite motor. I've always been more attracted to generator shovels and panheads. So we'll see how the panhead goes. Maybe a knucklehead eventually.
It's pretty steep price tag on those motors.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. They look cool. I just can't see spending $20,000 on one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean for handheads too, or any generator motor for that fact, like if you're out there searching for one and you do come across one with like aftermarket cases, that's just buy it anyways. I mean, it's going to be thousands of dollars less. It'll probably run much better. And if you truly care about like the authenticity of the motor, then it might bug you. But our panhead's got STD cases, and it's still going to look like a panhead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If someone were to ask you for some advice for starting their own show, what would you tell them?
Pick a good location that you know is going to work well with you. That's probably the main thing. I mean, I went through a list of maybe 15 VFWs until we finally landed on 308, and none of them before them had wanted anything to do with motorcycles. Period. It's really silly that bikers have that weird negative connotation amongst them now, but obviously I don't own the VFWs that I'm contacting, and they have final say. But the VFW we did land on just so happened to welcome us in perfectly. And yeah, the main advice would just be location is key. And if you are renting out a venue, everything has to be kosher with the owner of the venue.
That's weird that they give you shit about that. Most VFWs, don't they have group rides?
Yes, they do. But in the Bucks County area specifically, Bucks County is like more of a hoity-toity type of area anyways. I didn't want to have the show in Philadelphia just simply as a risk of having all those nice bikes in a less than ideal area. So I chose outside of the city for that specific reason. And with that just comes a different territory of society.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it all worked out for you in the end.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice. So, with you having built so many bikes, what kind of trends are you seeing over in your area? Me being here in the Midwest, we're really big into I shouldn't say we, but Dynabros and big wheel baggers are very prolific around here. Mm-hmm. What kind of trends are you seeing out where you're at?
I'm really proud to say this, honestly. All of my friends were mostly around the same age. Some of my friends are touching their 40s, but everybody around here is keeping it super 60s, super 70s, which is just unbelievable to see.
Oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. You're lucky. There's not a real big chopper scene here where I'm at. About 45 minutes south of me, there's I don't know, Ben Jeff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's out of Fort Wayne. He's just south of me. Okay. He's doing some cool shit.
For sure.
And that's do what?
He builds really tough bikes.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he builds a lot of cool shit. I think he was going to Born Freed.
That sounds
there was a show he was going to, I know. But yeah, he's pretty much the only one around here doing that shit, chopper shit. Other guys do some of the shit, but then again, like I said, like Dyna shit and big wheel baggers.
Ew.
I'm on a one-man mission to kill the big wheel bagger trend. I fucking hate that. They look so fucking stupid.
I know.
And
I know. My friends and I say this a lot too, about like the 90s, because I post a lot of my stuff on that page, Garage Built, or My Old Chopper. I think whatever page you found me on Facebook.
Garage Built.
Yeah, Garage Built Cycles. And on Facebook, I mean, everybody hates me on Facebook basically, because it's a lot of guys who just like love the big wheel 90s style, like OSS choppers, and that era just simply had to happen. So now we know what's cool and what's just so ugly. But those guys are just super steadfast about what they like and respect that. But I think it's ugly.
See, what year are you born?
95.
95. So you probably don't. You were shit. You had to have been like 5 or 6 years old when Motorcycle Mania came out with Jesse James, and he really.
Yep.
started that. So you don't remember that craze at all, do you?
Not until I was old enough to rewatch all that stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it got pretty gaudy there for a while.
Yeah, I bet.
With the motorcycle scene, the OCC, and I respect the hell out of Jesse for being craftsman and stuff. But yeah, some of his bikes were. Eh.
Yeah, that's true. And I think I was just spoiled as well because not only did I grow up with my dad's Harley Davidson T-shirts, but I also grew up with his old Easy Rider magazines. So just from a very young age, I saw not only what a beautiful chopper looked like, but also a beautiful woman.
Yeah, my dad had a stack of Easy Riders. They were from the 70s, though, so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they didn't believe in razors back then.
Nope.
So yeah, and that's you had more of an influence too from your dad and your family, right? About what was considered cool.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nice. So, all right, man. Well, that's all out of questions for you.
Perfect, man. Yeah, I had a great time talking with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on and taking some time out of your vacation to come on here.
Nope.
Go ahead and promote your stuff, Instagram, YouTube, your show.
For sure. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at RichPMiflin. You can find me on YouTube, Slice and Dice Choppers. You can find me on Facebook, but I'm private and I probably won't accept your friend request. And if you come to my chopper show, it's next Saturday, October 21st. It's called Hardtail Halloween. It's at the VFW 308 American Legion in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Choppers, vendors are going to be there, barbecue, and plenty of beer.
Hell yeah, man. It sounds like a good time.
Yeah,
I wish I could make it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever in the area, feel free to just hit me up. Come roll through the shop.
Hell yeah, definitely. That'd be cool shit. Crematorium and a chopper shop.
Exactly, yup.
So, yeah, it's been great talking to you. Again, I appreciate it, man. And good luck with your show.
Appreciate you, man. Good luck with the podcast.
Thank you, bud.
Peace out, man.
See ya.